Good evening. Welcome to the Rhythm and Blues Preservation Society Monday Music Spotlight. I'm your host, President and CEO Perry Thompson. Tonight, I'll be interviewing the legendary Miss Meli'sa Morgan. So let's get on there now. Let's invite her. Let's see if she's over there. All right. Hey, how you doing tonight? Russell's joined. You ain't all right? How's everybody doing? You try her again. Just waiting for her, ladies and gentlemen. Miss Morgan? Okay. 1 minute, ladies and gentlemen. She going? All right. Let me try it again, y'all. Okay. You're able to what? Hold on. See what's going on here. Miss Morgan? Hey, there you go. How you
Oh,
doing?
how are ya?
How you doing, Miss Morgan?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm great. I want to thank you for joining our Monday Media Spotlight Women's History Month celebration. Thank you for being on.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Can you see me
Thank you.
good? I'm good.
We're good. We're good, Miss Morgan. We're good. Now let's talk about how you started because you're from Queens like me. I'm from Queens as well. Let's start from your early background and when you started singing and everything.
Oh my goodness. Well, I started in church like everybody else. All the good divas anyway, like Aretha Franklin and Gladys Knight and all of them. Queens, New York, Corona, and wonderful experience. I had a great the church that I used to go to was right across the street from where I lived. And
What part was that? Because I'm from Merrick Boulevard and Basie Boulevard.
oh, Mount Horeb, Mount Horeb, yeah, Reverend,
Okay.
yes. And my mother took me there from when I was a little girl, when I didn't even know what people were saying. We slept in the church, and after that, I started singing at home with my sister. My sister Rita. Hi Rita. I don't know if she's watching, but and we would sing all the Franklin songs and dress up in my mother's outfits and sing for the aunts and the uncles and all that stuff.
Right.
The weekend parties, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, and after that, I think I got kind of antsy on the weekends, and my mother heard about a choir called the Starlets of Corona. And
Okay.
there and said, she basically dropped me off and said, here she is, user on the weekend so she don't get in trouble at 9 years old. And I joined the Starlets. I went under the wing of Miss Honred Washington, who basically taught me how to sing gospel and how to deliver a song. It was a wonderful, wonderful experience. Yeah.
Wow. Now, was that how? So during that time as growing up, what was it like actually going on stage, as a little girl performing on stage?
Well, I cried a lot.
Wow.
Yeah. I sing a song. I must tell Jesus all of my trouble, all of my. Yeah, and I would just once I started singing that song, I just started crying. Yeah, so I had to get crying, but then the crying became like a showstopper, like this little girl singing "I must tell Jesus" and crying. So they used it as a showstopper at the end of the show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, let's talk about when you joined the group called Shades of Love.
Shades of love, shades
Touch,
of love.
touch by touch, touch in touch,
Oh,
touch body to body.
body. Oh wow. Yeah, I was older then. Yes.
Right.
Um, Shades of Love wasn't in a group. They were. See if I can get some more light. They were. Oh gosh, I went in the studio to sing a background part for Patty Adams. And it was me, a girl named Cookie Watkins, and a gentleman named Don Hamilton. Background, and we sang background for "Keep It Touch Body to Body," and the lead singer never showed up. Yeah, and Pat Adams, who was known for Push in the Bush and all that stuff,
Right.
all those good songs, he said, "If you lead," and I think we were getting paid like $50 a piece, singing back money. And he said, please,
Oh,
75.
I think you're going in and out, Ms. Moore. You're going in and
Oh,
out.
he said, can you hear me now? Is that good?
Um, it's a little better.
Okay. Yeah, he said he would pay me $75 if I sang a lead. So I
Okay.
and I sang lead. The song was really easy. It was really a lot of ad-libbing besides the two verses, but basically because we had already did the chorus. So I went in and I sang lead, and he paid me $75, and 2 weeks later it was on the radio.
Yeah, that was a big hit. I mean, that was blasted all over radio. I mean, I remember that. I
Yeah,
think I still had the trophy on that one.
it was huge, and then they had no group. So they didn't want any males. They had two other girls. This gentleman that had paid Patrick to do the song, he had two other girls he wanted to do. Asked me would I join this group, Shades of Love, and you know, I was like, okay, let's see what happens. But unfortunately, when I went to the rehearsals and stuff,
Right.
the girls, they could do the little dances and stuff, but they couldn't sing.
Wow.
And it was like, I love to be in a group, but they can't sing, And they was like, well, you got to be in the group, or they're going to go and do it without you. And then what happened? My friend Don Hamilton, who's also a booking agent, he said, I can book you as the lead singer for Shades of Love on shows. And so that's what he did. And so I went out as, Meli'sa Morgan, of Shades of Love, quote, quote, and I did it by my.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Now then, And also, you were also in a group called High Fashion.
Yeah, high fashion was kind of the same thing. It,
Really? Okay.
yeah, it was me, Allison Williams, and I think the guy named was Eric. I think his name was Eric. Yeah, um, it was a studio thing with a gentleman named Petrus who had what was the oh God, what was the group he had? Oh, with Luther Vandross. What was the group with Luther Vandross? I
Change, change,
I think it was Change. Yeah.
change.
Yeah. So and it was just musicians who knew each other. So when people would come in and say, we're looking for a lead singer, we're looking for a, a female, a lead singer, they they would call me because they had worked with me at the Cellar, worked with me doing other shows or doing sessions. And
Right.
that was high fashion. They had Allison and they had Eric, and then they was like, well, call Meli'sa. And so I met Paris and went out with him a couple of times and did the studio. We never went on the road. We never
Wow.
with that. Never. We never could get it together. He wanted this, I did that, this one, that, and we never could get it together to go out on the road. So recently, these groups are like real popular in Europe. So they recently asked me to come over to Europe and do a high fashion and with me and Alice and somebody else. So, well, yeah.
Wow. Now, when you came solo, that's when did Do Me Baby, how did that whole thing come? Because that was written done by Prince. So how did that come about for you doing a remake of Do Me Baby? How did that come about?
Well, it was the president of Capitol Records,
Right.
John Grisham, who had Do Me Baby on hold for 2 years, and his time was running out. And he said the next R&B singer that I sign has got to do this record, and I was the next one that was signed through Hush Productions. So that's
Wow.
Do Me Baby. Yeah, I didn't pick it. When I was like 18 years old then, and
Okay.
yeah, when they played it for me, I was like, I don't know if my father is like, baby girl singing "Do Me Baby," because back then, it's not like Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, and all those girls now that will say anything and it's okay in a song. Back then, a young girl saying "Do Me Baby" was, that was risque for a career.
Travis K. Yes. Right.
Yeah. So, but it worked out okay. I went in and did it with a gentleman named Clifford, who was singing with me at the Cellar with Johnny Kemp and all those good people. And it turned out to be a really huge hit for me, produced
Yes.
by Paul Lawrence. Yeah.
Yes. Wow. Yeah. I bought the album. I bought the album when it came out. Yes. Yes, I
Oh,
did.
nice. It
Yes.
was a good album. We had such up and coming great writers and musicians and stuff then, and people actually went in the studio and we had a bass player and a guitar and all that stuff. Now everything is kind of like sampled and if I get this from here and that from there and that from there and I put it all together, it'll all be good, but
Yeah.
back then it was the real musicians coming into the studios and playing, and that was a wonderful thing.
Now, during that time of your success, New York was really bubbling when it came to R&B because you mentioned Hush Productions.
Yes.
I mean, you had yourself, you had Miss Melba Moore, you had Freddie Jackson, Paul Lawrence, Kashif. That New York R&B vibe was really bubbling back then. Talk about that, please.
Oh, it was wonderful. I mean, I met Kashif and worked with him in the studio. You know, I with Hush, I met Freddie and wrote on his album. I wrote Heartbreaking Decision with him. Melba with Auntie Melba, and you know, she was doing her thing and making sure she came up the ladder. It was really a wonderful, fun, every, everybody scene. Yeah.
You still going in and out just a little bit. You still
Oh,
going in and out.
I don't know if I should move. I don't know if I should move if it's because of me or what, but I like the light here.
Oh, that's a little bit. That's a little better, right?
Yes.
Because I
Okay,
mean,
a little
yeah,
bit.
because that whole near that was a really big time for like R&B, that '80s vibe. Like y'all were coming out with hit after hit in New York. Like wow. I
And
mean,
yeah, and you know, Hush Productions was really instrumental in
right,
because they were putting everybody together and paying, you know, giving us deals and paying us. That was a really good thing for everyone.
right. Yeah, and it was an exciting time. I was like going to the store and me being from New York, I was like just seeing everyone on the chart and the albums. Wow, like it was a good time. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
And now,
and you know, Do Me Baby did really, really well, and I should have a gold plaque for it. I don't. I have some plaques back. That's my Jay-Z and Mary J and LL Cool J for writing and doing stuff with them. But we are now working to get my Do Me Baby plaque because right in the middle of that I left and for my reasons, and everything went to SoundScan. So the whole, you know, the numbers and everything got all messed up. We're trying really hard, Capital, who is now Universal, to get me a gold plaque for Do Me Baby. Yeah.
and well deserved. I mean, I thought it went platinum. I mean, I thought I was under something that it did go platinum. I was under that assumption.
Yeah, we're just trying to get a gold one. Yeah, because we don't have all the numbers, but with the streaming and everything, hopefully we'll be able to get some numbers and I'll be able to. Yeah.
Right. Now you had two other hits on there on that album. Do You Still Love Me and Fool's Paradise. Now, those were two major hits.
Well, you know, the thing, Fool's Paradise didn't move up the charts though. It became a New York hit, and while I was on the road, it became huge in New York. New York just grabbed, and then the whole. But Do You Still Love Me was a top 5. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
yeah. Because Fool's Paradise, that just the beat, I believe that beat was sampled by quite a few people.
Oh yeah. LL Cool J, Jay-Z,
Right.
Trina, for the Love and Hip Hop, recently, and it has a life of its own. It really does.
Yeah. Now, then after that album, you released the album '87.
What did I release? Oh,
Good Love.
yes.
Good
Yeah.
Love.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. You know, we were on the road. So we went from Do Me Baby right into Good Love with the same people, Lisette Wilson producing and Paul Lawrence.
Yes.
You Can Do It, I Can Do It. And we were rolling with chemistry that was working. Yeah.
Yeah. And Love Changes came from that album, which was done by Kashif. Big
And
hit.
yeah, and that's what, you know, because the first one was too busy. He was for me because he was working doing his thing, and he had Evelyn and all those people that, you know, then after you're hit, then you know he wants to do so. Of course we did Love Changes, and that
Big
was
hit.
big hit, and I love Mother's Fine. And when I heard that he was doing it, I was like, I can do that. And he, okay. So he had this beautiful Jack Robinson mansion back in the day, you know, with the studio, and went there and recorded. It was beautiful. Whitney was out there.
Right. Because he was right. Because his house was in Connecticut, right?
Yes, he had Connecticut, and then he had a place in Manhattan that was really nice, a loft. He always had beautiful homes. Yeah, always.
Yeah, he did stuff and wow. Yeah, that was. I remember when Love Changes came out. Like, wow, that was a great duet. I was like, whoo,
Yeah,
that was a great song.
yeah. It was really his because If You Can Do It came out, then Love Changes, and, you know, and it was so crazy because we wanted to wait for Love Changes but he didn't want to wait. So so that came out first, and it kind of hurt. It kind of hurt the love a little bit with the sales stuff because you got to jump on it. But Arista and Clive Davis, got to jump on it, and so that hurt some of the sales of Good Love. But it was still a great album.
Wow. Okay. And then you released The Lady and Me in 1990, the third album for Capitol.
Yes, that by then I had left Hush Productions, Melba, and all of them. It was really basically contractual. Even people promise things, and then when it's time to deliver, happen. They needed to make it up and want to, so said, just come because I was selling enough albums that, I could do that. So I went with Capitol and moved to California for 2 years. Yes.
Okay. So basically now, once you left up Hush Productions, you were making your own decisions as far as your career after that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Understand, it really was a conflict of interest because they were production and management, which and publishing. Oh, they had too many hats on. They really did. So it was good to separate, but then they were upset. This industry, as you can see, from time to time, people don't get what they want. They try to say that you're hard to deal with, all that stuff, and it wasn't that. It was just had a contract, just supposed to do it, you didn't do it. I want out. You know what I'm saying? Because another opportunity that's better financial, capital paid more. Had a direct link with them rather than me, Hush, and them. And it was a good career decision. Just
Right.
it happened. Yeah.
Just business, right? I'm saying, yeah.
Yes.
And then you left Capitol and went to another label.
I left Capitol and went to
Right.
yes, with Ruben Rodriguez, may he rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Yes, Ruben Rodriguez. Yes,
and I just loved Ruben's as a record. He loved music. He loved this industry, and he believed in good, in real talent, and he would fight to the end, for you with real talent. And his label, Pendulum, and he signed me, and we had a top 10 hit with Still in Love. It went really good on the dance.
Number 3. Yeah, really big hit.
Was it Louis Vega? And then they did a great job with the remix of that. And to this day, it's just it's a classic, especially in New Jersey.
Wow. Okay.
They love it's a house version of Still in Love. Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. And then after that album, you took like a little break from the industry after that album?
Yeah, I did. What happened? Yeah, because I had made a lot of money on that, though. I do thank Ruben and everybody for paying me well. And when he decided he was going with Diggable Planets, and all of that, he went in the direction. They didn't want to do another album. I was a little discouraged, so I was like, I have enough money. I'm going to take a break and live for a minute. So I went to Aruba and enjoyed that, and just did things with my family, got married, and just did for Meli'sa instead of Meli'sa, artist for the industry. Yeah.
So they basically, the label just went strictly to hip hop and pushed back R&B? Pendulum? Really?
Basically, they did something, I think, with Chris Williams. I think that's what Chris. Oh God. But yeah, they basically, with the is it Diggable Planets or Digital?
Diggable Planets, right?
Yeah, and after he won the Grammy with them, that's where their head was. They didn't want to do anything but what was succeeding, And I think Alexa and him were kind of, on the out. So after that didn't work, I think that's when he went into, radio promotion.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. And
So
I went on tour with, that's when they started the, what they call the Chillin' Circuit, the plays. Yeah. So I went out with His Money, with me, David Peterson, and
yes,
in Peace. LaShawn Pace
rest
was.
in peace. Yes.
Yes, I worked with them, and I toured for like I don't know, like 9 months, 9 or 10 months with that play. I made a lot of money.
Okay.
Uh, so that's what I did. So I came back and started doing stuff in the industry. You constantly have to keep reinventing yourself. Yeah.
Right. Right. Now, during that time, you were rebuilding yourself. Um, what was your take on black music at that time? Because you said they were going through so many changes throughout the labels. What was your take on black music at that time? Being that they weren't really pushing R&B as they should have. So, what was your take on that at that particular time?
Well, when you was in it, you didn't really feel it, because I was still working, and they would, hook me up. Okay, you got a tour with Frank, you got dates here. Okay, you got a tour that Bert was still doing. Bert, his 5 days here. Okay, you had a tour, people were coming out, so I was still working. So you really kind of didn't feel it wasn't on the, but slowly they were weeding out R&B. It really was. It was really, really sad, because by the time you got back in, I said, okay, I'm tired of touring. Nobody wanted to sign me. And it was like, what do you mean nobody wants to sign Meli'sa Morgan? Come on. Really, right?
Right.
Nobody wants to sign Meli'sa Morgan. You're kidding me. And no, they wasn't kidding.
Wow.
It had taken a whole new turn. And it wasn't, Tony Braxton was different from what I was. It was just a whole different vibe. And everybody wanted to see what was going on instead of being yourself. And that was really hard. So I say that hip hop stole about, yeah,
Mm.
yeah, before it really got back online. Okay, we ain't going nowhere, y'all, because they started stealing. They started stealing samples, the James Brown, the this, the that. So you were hearing R&B, but you was hearing it with hip hop instead of being covered.
Wow. Yeah. Hip hop was really taking over in the 90s at that time.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, they were really not really signing artists who were already established or re-signing them. And that was really
Oh.
unfortunate that that happened because when did you release any more music? What year was that when you finally released new music?
Oh God, even I'm trying to remember. After Ruben, where did I go after Ruben? I released some music. I know I did some stuff. I did some stuff with Najee. I did some stuff with Bow-Legged Lou in there, but I really didn't have a deal, and I really didn't get a deal. Um, I hope I'm not missing. I have to go back and think about it myself, because if it wasn't successful, I try to block it out.
Right.
But I did things, but I just didn't have a record deal. Yeah.
Wow. That's surprising me because you're an established artist and for no one to not give you a deal because in your track record, that's just really surprising. That wow, why do you feel that's so that they would push out the legends like yourself and others, that they wouldn't. Why do you think that's so? They didn't think that you would sell anymore. I mean, what's your take on that?
a little bit of my take. You have to understand. I was still Meli'sa Morgan. So if you wanted to deal with me, and you was going to release, you were probably going to spend about $500,000.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Because you had to pay fee, you had to pay, for the promotion. You had to pay the way that I recorded. If I was in California, because like the album that I did with Lady, Capitol had to put me up in California for 2. See,
Right.
we wasn't cheap. The way they were doing things with the rappers and with the artists that was coming up, they were cheaper. Not that the quality, what I'm saying, they became big stars and stuff in their own right, and it was a whole generation. Generations change, but
Right.
Morgan was going to cost you a pretty penny. And now I know when I signed. I did not sign again until Hush, right? That was Charles Huggins and Melvin, all of them. They came back in the industry as Orpheus Production,
Right.
and they re-signed me with them. I don't know what year it was, but
I think it was 2018, I believe.
well, 2018 is when I did Cleopatra, so it was before then.
Okay.
Yeah, but I signed with. It could have been 2018. No, because 2018 was, we're getting it together, y'all. Give me a second. Give me a second, you know what I'm saying? The noggin's got to think. I'm going to look and see. But you can go and look and see when, which album was that? Well, don't make me get my iPad. What album was that I did with Hush?
Was it Love the Man? Love the Man?
No, Love Demands was 2018. I remember.
I remember.
Yes, because I did the song with Freddie Jackson, Back Together.
And that was the Orpheus. Okay, cool.
Yes. I remember. Yes. And so that's when I signed with another label. And it things had changed, and they in the promotion. That's what people don't understand about the industry. And I want to talk a little bit about that.
Sure.
If you don't have the promotion for who and what you are and what you deliver and sell, it can really be disastrous. And then Orpheus was trying to be, independent, then they come out on their own label, and that costs so much more money than when you have a big Columbia, a big Sony, a big Capitol, Universal now, Motown, or whoever it is behind you, saying, "Don't worry, I got you." Because they can dish out them dollars.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Where independent company, even if they're coming back and they say, "Oh, come back, we're going to do this again," and you go, "Yes, because I did Do Me Baby with you and all of that, and I believe in you," and you go back with them, but they have limited funds.
Mm.
So if they have $200,000 to promote a Tony Braxton, and they only have $30,000 to promote your single, it doesn't mean your single isn't good. It means they don't have the same resources to push it up the same band.
Right.
Yeah, so that's what happened. I remember everybody loved I Remember, and by then they just didn't have the funds to. It probably cost. We're going to talk about that later. I'm ready to release a song that's going to be on my label, Asylum Production. And in radio promotion alone, I mean, if you don't have your resources together, it can be anywhere from $40,000 to $80,000. That's a lot of money. Yeah. So if you run out of money and you don't have that backbone to say, "Okay, I'm kicking and I got you." You know what I'm saying? It can be really, really tough. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, you're right. Independent is, that's basically putting out, you doing everything on your own, as you're saying.
Yes, yes. And
Yeah.
way to go, because if you have a hit, then the powers that be will come behind you and distribute, and then all the money comes to you, and you're on your way. But that's what was happening. The P. Diddy's and all of them were getting the big deals with the Arista and stuff like that. And if you didn't have that behind you, if they had a record out and you had a record out, the one that had the most money is the one that was going to climb the charts.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. And so that's what basically happened with your album because the lack of promotion, unfortunately, it didn't sell. It
Yeah.
wasn't because of the music, it's just because of promotion.
Yeah, critically acclaimed. Critically acclaimed. The reviews were great.
Right.
Everyone loved it, from Tom Joyner to he played it. Everyone loved it. But that stuff that they talk about in the industry does happen. You have to pay. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And if you don't pay, it's like, well, okay, well then I've got to go with this one that is paying. I mean, you hear about it all the time. Payola, people get it, and it's real.
Mm.
You hate to talk about it because you don't want to get blacklisted or anything, but it's real. Yeah.
Mm. Okay. Wow. Now you're saying that, so right now, as far as your career now, you were saying that you're doing something as far as on your own label now?
Yes, I am so excited because I did I remember, and then after that, in 2018, I signed with Cleopatra Records, and
Okay.
that's when I did Love Demands. Another one, they loved it, but they gave me basically 6 weeks worth of promotion. Then they were like, we don't have no more money, for that. We got to move on to the next, acting. It was like, okay. And so we promoted ourselves as much. And I still do it. I do the songs because I did wonderful cover songs like the Aretha Franklin, Never Loved a Man, and
Right.
How Can You, when I do those live, it brings the house down. So so we promoted that, and I've sold lots of amount of CDs because I sell CDs on the road when I perform. Yeah, so I buy them back from the company and sell them. Yeah, I have Meli'sa Morgan "Do Me Baby" that you can only get in London. They re-released it, and I buy the company Cherry Red in London. And when I go on tour, after my show, I go in the back and sign them and sell them. And so then that gives me the point of the unit sold, and then I
Okay.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So it's a tough business, but I love it because I get to react with the audience as well. And you'll be surprised how many people, especially when I go to London or when I go to Japan, you'll be surprised how many people want to buy your stuff there. And I'm happy to say that anything that has my signature on it, I charge my but it goes up. They say my signature is worth like $7,500. Yeah, everybody's signature is worth something. So once they have it, it's
Do you find black artists are more accepted over there? Those in your caliber from the '80s, and who've been in it for 20 years plus. Do you feel artists like yourself are accepted more overseas than over here in America?
um it depends. How can I? It depends on your hustle.
Okay.
Let me explain. Um,
Okay.
I hustle here, so I always work.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So there, I during the pandemic, I worked.
Right.
People still wanted me. So we did selective things. We turned down a lot of things, but there were things on the table. I had about 10 or 15 days on the table when the pandemic hit. The
Mm.
cancel that had to be rescheduled as we got back into it. So you have to understand those were deposits that I had already gotten. So, so it's been pretty okay during the pandemic. There's a lot of artists, I don't want to say who, they don't pay their taxes, they don't do what they're supposed to do, they don't
Mm.
have their business in order. So during the pandemic, some of them suffered. Some of them did okay, some of them suffered. I did okay. I paid my taxes and everything. So and when the pandemic hit, I was able to collect unemployment. As an, you understand what I'm saying? As an artist, because it's a business, it's a career. So you have to do those things, and it was wonderful. It kept me through all that 2 years worth of collected unemployment because there wasn't work, so that was a blessing. But I hustle here just as much as I hustle there. So
Okay.
so I get response and acceptance there, and I get response and acceptance here. So I don't really see the difference. I love it over there, you know. Uh, things happening that I think I'm going to be doing Paris and a bunch of other things. So I'm very excited.
Okay.
I love the audience over there, but I love my audience in New York too. Yeah.
Right.
Sorry, in the United States too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm in South Carolina now. I do stuff in South Carolina. I love my South Carolina audience. I love performing in the United States. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So
Okay.
on
It-
your, yeah.
all about your grind. Right.
And
Wow.
there are some artists, believe it or not, that are huge over here that is not huge over there. Fool's Paradise is like an anthem over there.
Mm.
Yes, Fool's Paradise went #1 over there. It didn't go #1 over there. Fool's Paradise
Right.
like the number 20 something and fell off the chart, but it went #1 over there. So it's like an anthem over there. So when it comes on, it's like a Beatles song.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Wow.
yes, it's huge. Yeah,
Wow. Okay. That's
yeah.
great. I mean, so now, what are you doing? As far as your music and your touring, what are you doing right now?
Oh, I have some dates coming up. I'm doing something with the R&B Music Society, so I'm excited about that in Atlantic City next weekend. Actually, their award show with myself, Allison Williams, and Bow-Legged Lou, and a whole bunch of people that they're honoring. So I do that with a young lady, Vanessa Jordan. That I'm very excited about that. I have shows in Brooklyn, Alabama, all that. You can go on my social media and you can see that. But the
Right.
one I'm really excited about is that I did have my first acting debut in a movie.
Oh.
Yes, where I play the mother of a young lady that was out in the streets doing her things and messing up. And then she finally cleaned up her act. And
Okay.
back home and cleaned up her act. She had a daughter and a son, and she had cancer, and she died.
Mm.
And I play her mother.
Okay.
Yeah, so I have a
Wow.
wonderful, wonderful gospel scene where I get to go back to my roots that we talked about earlier, and I get to sing at her funeral in
Okay.
church in the movie. And then there's some other wonderful scenes that I was able to do. And Chrisette Michelle is in the movie.
Okay.
Um, they asked me to do the theme song for the movie. The name of the movie is called Footprints of an Angel. And
Mm.
that's a song that I did on my own label, Asylum Productions, that'll be coming out around April 15th. Yeah.
Great.
Yes.
That's great.
And,
And the
and
movie.
I paid for the video and everything myself through my company, and we recorded it, and we have CDs, and it's going to be on all the music platforms. And we're getting nice people that want to come in. D Nice asked me to send him a copy, so we're going in the DJ pool to send him one. Thank you, and we're just
Well, I
excited.
definitely want. I definitely want a copy.
You want to
Autographed
get
copy.
The copies are going out probably next week, and the video is excellent. It was done by a young, I think he's like 21 or 24, a young guy named Josh with his own company called Highlight, and the video is just absolutely amazing.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah,
That's great. Wow.
And it's hard, but like I said, you after a while, you can't sit around and wait for somebody else to do it for you. You got to do it for yourself.
That's right. That's great. And
Yeah.
is the movie out now?
The movie, they're editing it now, and they said the trailer should start running in May, and it should be out by the end of May, early June. We've been going 2 years for this, and I can tell you now because all the copyrights and everything are in. We're very
Right.
Footprints of an Angel because Valerie Simpson had to approve a sample that we used on it. So Valerie Simpson, Ashford and Simpson has something to do with the song. That's all.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow, that's great. I mean, I'm really happy for you. That's great. New album, new movie. That's great.
Yeah.
On your, and on your own.
Yeah, it's just a song right now, but we will be working on more songs, and I'm quite sure that once this comes out, if we get the support that we're hoping to get, that album will be soon, and we'll get that distribution deal.
You get it. I no doubt about that. That's great. Wow. That congratulations on that. I'm glad that everything's working out for you. That you're really rebuilding yourself and coming back out with some new stuff. That's great. Because it's well deserved. You're definitely a legend, and you have definitely contributed to this culture of Black music. So we're happy for you. Miss Morgan, what is your take now? Why is it so important to preserve the culture of Black music? Why is that so important?
You know why? Because I think that our Black music is our route to connecting with each other. Sometimes we don't get to see each other. Sometimes we don't get to talk to each other like we should. And basically, look at that. All through the pandemic, the thing that kept everything alive for me and for some of the other artists was our music. Going on Zoom and singing, doing little concerts in our bedroom. You know what I'm saying? The little concerts where we could, because we couldn't connect. We couldn't go. Could you imagine have music? Gosh, that's like it would have been a silent time for us. So music connects us, especially our Black music. The Footprints of an Angel is a song that talks about losing a loved one.
Right.
That touches every single person in the universe. Music touches the soul of everyone, of something, somewhere that they went through, especially, the Temptation stuff, Aretha and stuff, especially a gospel stuff, Gladys Knight stuff. I saw done the Soul Train cruise, and I love it. My friend recently was on it, and I went on live. Gladys Knight was on, and when I tell you, just when she started singing, you just wanted to reach through the phone and say, "I love you, Gladys, for all the joy that given us and how you've touched my soul and gotten me through things." And that's what Black music, I think, more than any other.
Great. That's a great answer.
Yeah.
When it comes to, my organization, the Rhythm and Blues Preservation Society, what we're doing preserving the culture of Black music, can you speak about as far as, what we're doing as far as, the Rhythm and Blues Preservation Society? Because that's what we're all about, preserving the culture of Black music and honoring legends like yourself.
Yes, this is a great platform. I'm seeing all the people talking to me and say, "Hey, Meli'sa, what you been doing? Oh, I haven't seen you. Oh, you look good, like your hair, blah blah blah." I'm seeing all the comments. That's important. Me, Allison Williams, we don't get the credit. Mickey Howard, uh,
Yes.
the, the I just did a show with Stephanie Mills. Then she did something with Shaka Khan, and she's out
Yes.
keeping the music alive. You know what I'm saying? I toured with Shaka Khan. That was one of my first professional gigs, going out on the road and tour with Shaka Khan. So we have to keep her alive. You know, like I said, Gladys Knight. I work with Kashif, and we opened for Gladys Knight.
Wow.
That's how I got my deal with Productions. They saw me with Kashif, and they were managers with Kashif, and then I went backstage, and they said, "Don't your own deal," and I said, "Yeah," and they said, "Come to the office." And I went to the office the next day. So we have stories, we have history.
Yes.
You know, I with Connie Kim. He's no longer here.
No.
About him anymore. You know what I'm saying? You have to keep him alive, keep his legacy alive, and what he stood for. He worked at the center, you know, in the heart of Manhattan. You know, we did 3 shows a night, keeping music alive. That's where I met Patti LaBelle. Patti LaBelle walked into the club, and you know, I was her song, and we've been friends ever since. I recently, a few years ago, went on tour with Patti LaBelle over in Europe. You know, so you have to keep these people alive and legacy alive, and music alive, because it's history. It's history there. So yeah, preservation society is very important.
Thank you. I
Yeah,
appreciate that. I
yeah.
appreciate that. And Miss Morgan, can you know let people know why they should donate to the Rhythm and Blues Preservation Society? Because we are a nonprofit. So why should people make donations to our organization?
Because it takes money. It takes money to do anything. You know what I'm saying? It takes money. Even what you're doing, doesn't that take electricity? You know what I'm saying? It takes electricity. It takes money to call people. It takes money to email. So you have your equipment that you need. It takes money. Listen, my hair takes money. My outfit takes money. Look, I got my outfit matching the hair. Come on now. It takes money when you want to do something the right way. And like I just told you about, even doing things independent. You know, when you don't have the big sponsors, you know, all the little things help. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, thank you for that. Thank you for that plug.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it. Please let everybody know your social media so they can reach out to you.
Oh, it's just Meli'sa, Melisa, not 2 S's, not 2 L's. I forget. It's Melisamorgan, and you'll find me. I'm on Instagram. It's Meli'sa Morgan 1. On Facebook, it's Meli'sa Morgan 2. I think because somebody tried to have. I have my own fan page, the Meli'sa Morgan fan page. I have a lifestyle page you can go on, Lifestyles with Meli'sa, and just go on there. You find everything I'm doing. Like I have upcoming shows. The song and the video will be coming out soon. So after that, the movie will be out, and
Yes.
you can find out all. I put everything on my pages, and that's how we connect. Twitter. I'm on Twitter. Same thing. So yeah.
Well, we are very happy for your, your success.
Oh,
I've always been a big fan of yours. I just wish you continued success. I hope the album blows up. I hope the movie blows up as well.
yes.
Yeah, I just wish you all success in the world. We appreciate you being on the Monday Music Spotlight, honoring, and for this month, honoring women in music. We appreciate you being on. We thank you. The Rhythm Blues Preservation Society salutes you,
Oh,
and
God, huh?
we salute you.
Oh, thank you. I salute you too.
Yes. And I just want to let everybody know that we are a nonprofit organization and you can make donations. Our Cash App is $RBPS18. Our PayPal is paypal.me/RBPS18. And you can go on our GoFundMe page, click the link in our bio. All donations are welcomed. We're
Yes.
tax deductible, and we appreciate all the support. Ms. Morgan, again, thank you for being on our Money Music Spotlight. We wish you all success in the world. Anything you got coming up, we will definitely promote you,
Yeah.
because you are a legend. You are a contributor to the culture of Black music. You are important to Black music and continue strong.
Oh, thank you so much. God bless everybody. This went by
Thank you.
so fast, didn't it?
We want to thank everyone for joining us tonight. We appreciate everyone. This is Perry Thompson, President CEO of the Rhythm Blues Preservation Society, Monday Music Spotlight. We wish you peace and blessings, and have a good night, everybody.
Bye bye.